Hello students, Sanjay Kumar here from VG Academy. So the pick of the day today is life doesn't give you that what you want. It gives you what you work for. So it's one of my favorite motivational quote. This says that everybody has dreams. Everybody has dreams, everybody has passion, and the people only who work for the passion and dreams is what they get in life. Without dreaming alone, you can't achieve anything. So that is what it says. Life doesn't give you what you want. You may be want and needing several things in life, but all the things you can't get it. If you want something, work for it. Work hard for it. So with this positivity, let's start today's class. And the topic we are going to see today is counting of figures. You have seen many questions in the question paper. A certain figure will be given that, and from that figure you would be asked to count sometimes how many lines are there in this figure, how many triangles are there, how many squares are there. So there are several methods in this. These questions can be asked, and in today's point of view, we are going to solve first number of triangles. So number of triangles is the concept we are going to see today. And you people generally, what will you do? Most of you will read many concepts, and you will just omit this thing, thinking that we can count directly in the examination and you will count it correctly. But most of the time students are making mistakes in this topic. So there are certain tricks for this topic also. So yes, trust me, there are some tricks for this topic also. Those tricks are just interesting tricks. You just listen to my lecture, and these questions are not going to come fully in the same manner I'm teaching. There will be certain changes, and I'll just teach you to how to approach those certain changes also. So with this, we are going to start the topic. So number of triangles. In this topic, there are several types. They have chances of asking question, and we are going to see each and every type. Several means don't think there are some 20 to 30 types. There are just 6 to 7 types are there. 7 types of questions only there, and I'm going to teach you tricks to solve, how to approach each and every type. Those are just small things. You just understand this and know on the concept alone. Okay, without further ado, let's go on to the topic. And the first thing, in first type, you are going to solve a number of triangles is classification with line. Classification with line. So in this type, the triangle will be classified with a line in it. So let us see some 4 examples and how to approach each and everything. And if you are clear with this concept, you can solve the type 1 questions very easily. And this is just after before I am saying the trick, you just try to count how you do actually the counting process, and after I am saying the trick, you just count it in that method. You're just going to do that in seconds. It's not also going to take minutes, just seconds. You can count the triangles in the figure. So these are the 4 figures we are going to solve. Today, just a minute, and another line will come here, and this triangle has here and here. Okay, these are the 4 diagrams we have given, and if I ask you people to count this figure, even a child would count it, but counting this figure is not going to be easy, because you have to think in all perceptions. So it is going to be difficult, and I am going to say the trick now, and it will be easy for you to count all the figures. So here is also some procedure for us to count, to learn how to do these things. So let us learn the first step. Step 1 is, it's just a basic step. I am just saying when you are imagine that now you are sitting in the examination hall. So what will you do? There can be any type of question which can be asked. Even type 2, type 3, type 4, type 5 also is going to be asked. I am going to teach that in next slides. Now you are sitting in examination hall. The first thing you are going to see when solving classification, I mean counting of figures topic in triangle is identify the type of classification. You have to just identify which type you are having in the question paper, whether it is classification with line or whether it is with star model, whether it is with count the triangle in the square. There are many methods. So first you have to identify which method you are going to solve, because for each and every method there are different tips. So identify which type is the first step. So what is the second step is count the number of base. Count the number of base. In this method all I am saying now, I am saying about this method, classification with line. When they have asked you to count the number of triangles in line division, all you are going to do is just count the number of base. So this is the base of triangle. How many base you are having here? Here we are having 2 bases. Here we are having 3 bases, and in this diagram we are having 4 bases. So you have to count and look at this diagram. In this diagram you are having 6 bases even. So yeah, that is the thing. You are going to count the number of bases. What is the third and final step? And it is going to be the third and final step. It's just very easy. Add the value. Yeah, just trust me. That's all the thing is. You have to just count the number of bases and add the bases. And the answer you are getting will be number of triangles in this classification. Isn't it very easy? Come, let us try to solve this first. The number of bases here is 2 bases are there. So you have to just count this 1 plus 2 equal to 3. So you are having 3 number of triangles here. So just look at carefully here. The first triangle here is, this one is the first triangle, and this one is the second triangle, and overall is the third triangle. So that is what is the answer here. Isn't it very easy? Now let us see this for this triangle also. So how many bases you are having here? 1, 2 and 3 bases you are having. Just count all the numbers. 1 plus 2 plus 3 equal to 6. So here you can draw 6 triangles with this diagram. I am just proving you for this one also. Just check it. Here is the first triangle. Here comes the second triangle. Here is the third triangle. And overall there is a triangle, fourth triangle. So you have seen 4 triangles now. Let us see which is the fifth and sixth triangle. So the fifth triangle is this one. Is the fifth triangle, and this is the sixth triangle. So this is the concept here. You are going, however, just if they have asked classification with lines means, you are going to do nothing. Just count the base and add the value. That's all. And you are asking me, this is looking like a somewhat different problem. So what we have to do? Because there are another bases here, and we shouldn't put the numbers as 5, 6, 7, 8 here, because this is a base with different depth. So you have to again count the base as 1, 2 and 3, 4. So that is the thing. If the base has same depth, like look at the problem number 1 and problem number 2. If the base has same depth, you are just going to count it directly. If it has different depth, you are just going to count the first depth and count the second depth, and you are going to add it. So what do you get when you count the first depth? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equal to, it is 10 here. And for this also you will get a 10. So the number of triangles you get from this is 20 triangles. So if you still didn't believe in this technique, you can obviously count and check, and 20 will be the correct answer. I swear. Okay. Now let us see the fourth diagram. This is with a little similar change from the third diagram. what is the change? The base of first and second is changed with respect to third, fourth and fifth, sixth. So this is just very easy, and I have already said that if the triangles are there in the same base, you are going to count all the numbers. If the base differs, you have to just count the differentiated base and add it finally. So 6 bases are at same depth here. So you are just going to count these 6 numbers. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. So the answer you get here is 21. 11, 15, 18, 20 and 21 is the answer here. And plus there are 2 bases at some depth here. So you are going to count it as 1 plus 2. So it is 3 here. And there are 4 bases with another depth here. So you are going to number it as 1, 2, 3 and 4. So if you add it again, you will get the answer as 10. So the total number of triangles here is 21 plus 10, 31 plus 3, 34 triangles. So that is the trick here. Isn't just interesting? I believe you people are amused with this thing. And let us move on to the second type. So if they have asked the classification with lines, means you are just going to count the bases and add the bases. If the depth differs, count the differentiated base depth differently and add it finally. So that is the trick all here. Now let us move on to the second type. So now we are in the second type in counting of triangles. In this triangles, you will be given a square, and the square will be cutted in some manners, and you have to find the number of possible triangles inside the square. So in this category also, we are going to solve some 4 figures. And trust me, this is also a very interesting technique here. And before I am saying the technique, you just try to count it yourself. And it is definitely not possible for you to count. You people can count it, but in a counting in traditional method, it is going to take much of your time. So when you are speaking about competitive examinations, time management is an important thing. In these type of easy topics, you have to save your time just by using the tricks. And this is the another diagram. Just look at the difficulty of this diagram. If they say to count this from this square, is it possible to count without tricks? Because how many triangles will be formed in this? Many number of triangles will be formed, and we people will definitely make a mistake while counting it directly. So that is also a final example, something like this. So this is going to be, so that's it. I'll just draw 2 lines here. These are the 5 figures you are going to be solving now. So this is classified as triangle inside square. So before type 1, you take a screenshot in the last page, so it will be easy for you for the future reference. In future reference, it will be easy for you. And we are going for type 2 triangle inside square. So how to approach this question? So the first step I'm saying is count the number of triangles. Oh, you are wondering, so is this a trick? If I count the number of triangles, I can count it directly, you will be thinking. But I didn't say in that manner. Count the number of triangles, just classified like this. And the several triangles can also be solved after counting here. Just count the number of triangles, the first step. And the second and final step is multiply it by 2. That's it. Just count the number, you will get it as 4 and you multiply it by 2, and the answer coming is the answer which is arriving is the number of triangles possible from this figure. And if you try to count it directly also, you will get the same answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, and fifth triangle is this one, and we can take this as sixth triangle, and this will be seventh, and eighth will be in other thing. So definitely you will get 8 only. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. So I am saying it again, it will be easy for you, and we can count it directly first. Yes, it will be clear for you. Just take this line first. This is the first triangle and this is the second triangle. Okay, two triangles are there with addition to this 4. So we have taken this line. Now take this line. Two triangles are here and two triangles are here. So we get number of triangles as 8. See, without approaching technique, if I am counting, I am making some mistakes. So directly if you use the formula, it will be very easy for you to count the answer. So we all know the trick. And what about the second thing? This also follows the same pattern. Just count the triangle and multiply it by 2. So 6 into 2 will be 12. If you count this triangle inside the square, you are going to get the answer as 12. So this is the correct answer. You can try counting this also. We are not going to waste time in counting this. The answer will definitely be 12 only. So there is another problem with triangle inside square. So we are just going to use the same method. Just count the figures. 8 into 2 will be 16. That's it. Very simple. If you just try to count without using this technique, you will definitely going to miss a single triangle, any one single or a couple of triangles, and you will just get the answer as wrong. Because in options they will give us very closely, like 14, 15, 16 and 17. 16 and 17. If they give it like this, you don't know. Everything will be a possibility like you will think. So you just use this type of tricks and get the correct answer in just few seconds. If you try to count this triangle, it will, I swear, I just promise you, you will definitely take 2 minutes to count this triangle. But with this trick, you are just counting 8 and into 2 equal to 16. It is just less than 3 to 4 seconds. And in this triangle, in this square and all, you can just clearly see that there are only 6 boxes and into 2. You are getting it 12. You are getting the answer in 1 to 2 seconds. So this trick saves your time. So what is the fourth diagram here? Here is the fourth diagram, and this diagram looks somewhat different. So what we have to do is divide the diagram into 2 and just count it. First take the larger square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And take the smaller square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. That's it. So 8 into 2 will be 16, and again another 8 into 2 will be 16. The answer is 32. Look look at it, how easy it is. You're just getting the answer in less than 5 seconds. Before knowing this trick, just imagine of counting this figure. It will definitely take the full examination sometimes also. So don't waste time in this type of question. Just use the trick and get the answer as correct answer. So that's it. You are going to get 32 as the correct answer. Now try to solve this question by yourself and let us see you are getting or not, because this question also, all the questions coming in the examinations are not directly going to be the way I am teaching. So this question I didn't teach, but it may be a combination of two ways I have teached it. If you look it out clearly here, it is the combination of first and second type. In second type it is given as square, and we can use this formula and calculate, multiplied by 2. And the first is base rule. Can you remember this one? Base rule, type 1 triangle, counting the figure and adding. Yeah, that is this one. So just divide it into 2 and check what you are missing in some places. So if you divide it into 2, you will get it as, here there are 8 triangles inside the square. So we all know that 8 into 2 will be 16. So in base rule, what will you do? If a triangle comes here, you are just going to count that and add that number. So 1 plus 2 will be 3. And if you just count the number as 19, you will just miss it, because there are two triangles which forms newly by the adding. So you have to add this two triangles also. This is the one triangle and this is the second triangle. So a new line, if a new object is added here, you have to just cross check it again whether any new triangles forms or not when dividing it by new methods, when combining it by new methods. So another two triangles will be formed. So 19 plus 2 will be 21, and 21 triangles will be inside this given figure. See how easy it is. Now let us see the third classification of triangle. So now we have seen two easy types, and we are going to see the third type, and trust me, third type is also an easy type, and the third type name is triangle inside boxes. So triangles are inside or with boxes, something like that. It's the name I am framing for this technique, it is not the original name. So let us see type 3. What is triangles inside boxes? Let us see the figure first. So it is like a box structure. It is divided into two. So this is the first figure, and the second figure will have three number like this. So in the first figure it has two boxes. In the second figure it is having three boxes. And you know what? For this method also there is a technique in which you can solve. So we are going to solve with those techniques only. And the next thing is going to be far more difficult. See the option C, how it is. Just, is it possible to count the number of triangles inside this box in traditional method? I don't think so, and I will not count those things also because it is a waste of time counting it. Let us keep it as D because there is another diagram before it, and it is having a L-shaped box. So these are the third type question. You are going to solve this now with the easy tricks. So what is the tricks here? Let us again see with step-by-step procedure. What is the step 1? Here the step 1 also, like a previous method, count the number of triangles. Count number of triangles. So you are going to count the number of triangles here also. Why the same principle comes here? Because if you just look it clearly, this thing is same as the previous thing. So you are just, in previous you have solved with a single square. Now they are given double square. Think it as a triple square. Don't think it as a box. And here are some four boxes connected in T shape, and here is a L-shaped box. So think it like that. So it is the same thing you are going to see here. Count the number of triangles. And the second rule is also same as previously before. Count it, multiply it by 2. So we all know that. But there is something we are going to add at the step 3. Because both the triangles are connected here, so some new triangle may have chances of arising here. So what is the third thing is, we will first solve the two steps and look out for the third step. The first step is just give numbers for the triangle 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, and into 2, if you multiply it by 2 you will get it as 8 and 8. So total 16 triangles, plus what is the plus number? Plus 2 is the number. So why you are adding 2 is, whenever you join two square boxes like this, you will get two triangles here. Look at this 3 points. Look at this point. A new triangle arises here. We didn't count this triangle initially. And talking about this triangle, we have already counted this triangle before. So there is no problem with this one. So this is the single triangle, and the second triangle is this one. So we failed to count this. So added by 2, you will get 18 triangles inside a combination of square box. So step 3 is, at joining place add 2 triangles. So at joining add 2. So it is not necessary for us, if they gave 4 to 5 triangles, to check it one once again every time. Just remember it as, if two square boxes are joined, add two triangles with them. So we all know that we are, just look at this figure. We can solve it in less than 5 seconds. 8, 8, 8, and in join plus 2, 2, 2. That's it. Just 2 and 2 because it is not joined anywhere here. So if you count it totally, what will you get? I think you people know how 8 comes here. It is 4 boxes in every square. So 4 into 2 will be 8 there, and in joining place I have said that according to step 3 you have to add two triangles. So if we add totally all this, 8 plus 8 plus 8 is 24, and two 2's are there. So it is 4. So the total number of triangles inside a combo of 3 square boxes is 28. That's it. So let us see the figure C here. So what is the thing you have to note down? What is the different thing between figure B and figure C? The only difference is this square boxes comes here. This one comes here and forms a box as here. So it is also joined somewhere else. It is also joined here. So 2 will come here anyways. 2 will come here also anyways. And 8 is here. We all know that 8 triangles inside this, and 8 triangles inside this box, and 8 triangles inside this box. And you may be wondering, why are you teaching this, man? Because in both you are getting correct same answer only. If you ask like that, you are just making a mistake, because when when the three squares are joined in L-shaped manner, a single triangle will be formed, and we have to find which triangle means this is the triangle. Just look at here, the largest triangle of all. You have to add this triangle with them. So when combining three triangles together, you get 28, and a single triangle comes in addition. So the answer for this is 29 triangles. Just remember this concept. Don't mug up those answers. In question paper they ask also, just remember this concept. Like if they have asked in base means add the numbers. If they ask in square means multiply it by 2. Like that, remember the concepts. So if we move on to the fourth diagram, this diagram is somewhat looking critical, because this is combination of both. But don't worry, just we can solve it in like every other method. Just count this, you will get 8 triangles in it, and for this you will get 8 triangles, and in this square also you will get 8, and in this square also you will get 8. We all know this. And is it easy? Yeah, it's easy for us. The next, what are we going to do? The next step is add joining place 2. So add 2 here, add 2 here, and add 2 here also. Now count the numbers first. Count the numbers first and initially keep it. 8, 16, 24, 32. 32 plus 6 is equal to 38 is there initially. So 38 triangles are there. Can we stop with this? No, we cannot stop, because I have already said that if it joins in L shape, a single triangle will form like this. So look at this. A single triangle is forming here. This is the one triangle we forgot to find. And if you look out clearly, we will get another two triangles here. The other two triangles are, just imagine in this way. If it is having this L, a T is a combination of two L's. In this L, it is having this triangle. So in this L also, it will have another triangle, and that triangle is this one. I'll just erase the previous triangle so it will be easy for you to understand. So in this L, you will be having this triangle. See how easy it is. So you are adding, you are going to add 2. Will you stop it with this? No, because when 4 triangles are joined together, you are going to get a new triangle here also. So that fourth triangle is, just a minute, I'll erase this triangle so it will be easy for you to understand. Yeah, the fourth triangle is starts from this point. So this is the fourth triangle. So what are you getting in addition to the square boxes? If 3 square boxes are added in L shape, you are getting a triangle. If 4 square boxes in added in L shape also, you are getting a triangle. So you are getting 3 triangles to this in addition. So 38 plus 3 is equal to 41 triangles. See how easy it is. It doesn't take more than 5 seconds for this question also, because you just know 8 for all boxes and 2 for joining places, and every 3 triangles join in L shape, one triangle will be formed. Every 3 square join in one place means one L shaped triangle will form, and every 4 triangle join also one equilateral triangle forms. So that's it about this third type. Now let us move on to the next type, fourth type. So the fourth type of classification we are going to see is classification with even base, or you can write it as even division with even base. So what does this method means? Let us see with examples. So a triangle will be given here and it is divided evenly. So it is divided evenly, so it is called an even division, and it also follows with that base method. So you are going to use some tricks here. Let us see what we are going to use. So the next thing is, I think you can easily count this figure, and now look for these figures. I am going to draw now. So this itself looks a bit difficult for you, and if you think this itself looks a bit difficult, look at this monstrous one. A 4 divided triangle. Look at it, and if you are thinking this is big, I am going to give it a 5 for you one. A 5 divided triangle. Just look here. So 3 lines and 3 lines will come. Here 4 lines we have to draw. Look how this example is, and if you are going to count this with a traditional example, look this will become a triangle, this will become, and even everything in this will become a triangle rather than certain things like this. But it is clear that you are going to get a high number, so we have to use some tricks to count this triangle. And if you want to know what the trick is, it is very simple than other methods. This is the easiest method of counting figures. You know why? Just count the triangle here also. 1 2 1 2 is there from both the sides. So 2 cube will be 8. You will get 8 number of triangles inside this diagram. That's it. Very simple. And if you guys want me to recheck whether we get only 8 triangles or not, let us do it for this example alone, because it only takes a smaller amount of time. And this, if you check for this diagram, this triangle and all, this video will go for some 2 to 3 hours length, because however then also I will count it wrong only. So let us see example for this alone. So this is the first triangle, this is the second triangle, and this is the third triangle. So you are getting 3 single box triangles. This is not a triangle, guys. Just look at it, doesn't look in the shape of a triangle. So 3 triangles are there. Now we can look for double box triangles. This is a triangle and this is a triangle. 1 2 and 3 and 4. So you get 4 triangles in, sorry, I am just writing the numbers before erasing that one. And you get 4 double box triangle and a single all combo box triangle. So 1. So totally you will get 8 triangles here. So that is what, if you count, you will get 8 triangles. For simple figures, you will count it and get the answer correctly. What about these complex figures? Look at C and D and all. It is very difficult process for you to get. So that is what the trick is. You have to count it from both sides. 1 2 3 you will get, and you know what the answer is. 3 cube is 27, and if you try to count this triangle, you will get 27 triangles in this triangle. So what about this one? So here are 4 boxes are there. So 4 cube is 64. So that's it. It is very easy for you, and this thing will go for above numbers also. Look out for this one, and here there is a box there. It is very little looking. 1 2 3 4 and 5, and here also it gets 5 only. So you check it in both direction. In both direction it is just ending with 5 means just without rethinking put it as 5 cube as 125. That's it. It is very simple, and if it can go like up to some again above numbers also, like it may go to 6 cube. You have to write 2 and 6, and for following numbers you are just finding the cube root. If they have asked the triangle in this method, these are some direct question. These questions are asked many times in other bank examinations, RRB examinations, like that. So these are direct questions. So just note down this method. This is another easy important method. So now let us go for type 5. So this is cube. You are just finding the cube for all the evenly distributed triangle with even base. That's it. We are going for type 5. So the fifth type we are going to solve is triangle inside triangle. So sometimes they will ask you to count the triangle, number of triangles inside a triangle. So what is this thing, and what are the tricks you are going to follow? Let us see now. So the first diagram here is a triangle is given here, and an inverted triangle is given here. So this is the first one. Second one will be like triangle, a base triangle, and another triangle is given here. So that is it. For third one, same triangle and inverted triangle with certain lines in it. Certain lines in it. And for the D option, it will be like this one. So all these things, if I say the tricks, it will be very easy for you. Before seeing the tricks, you can count this one, and you can also count this one, but it will take time. But imagine about counting this example. It is definitely going. You will most of the times you will get wrong answer because you will leave some triangles without counting. So that is the case here. So let us see with examples and how to approach this question. Yeah, the first triangle. The first triangle is, you just add how many triangles are there in this, and this is the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, and then overall triangle 5. So 5 triangles are there in the first model, and so there is no other trick to count this one because it is already easy. So there is no tricks for counting this triangle. It is very easy for it to count, but for advancing questions like this, there are some tricks. You take this question also with B. You take a question B1. So inside this there will be an inverted triangle, and a straight triangle will be there, and inside that there will be an inverted triangle. So what about counting this one? Imagine this. It will be a definitely difficult process. So let us see the trick here, how to count the second one, and we can count the B1 also. So the trick here is, you just divide this into 2 parts first. Just forget this inner triangle first. Just count the outer triangle. You will get it as 1, 2, 3. The total big triangle 4, and this triangle is 5. So outer triangle is 5. Now count the inner triangle. 1, 2, 3 and 4. You shouldn't count this one because we have already counted that. So the inner triangle is 4. So the total number of triangles inside this triangle is 9. So the same method applies here also. Give it with the variation color because so it will be easy for you to understand. So for this thing, same principle, use the same method. First count the outer triangle. Outer triangle is always going to be 5 only. 1, 2, 3. Big outer triangle 1, 4, and this triangle, this inverted triangle This is the fifth triangle. So outer triangle is always 5. Inner triangle. Inner triangle means, so here you have to forget the innermost. Just count the inner. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So you are getting 4 inner triangle here, and within that innermost triangle will be again 4. 3 and 4. 4 means this is the 4. So when they draw each triangle inside triangles means you just count the inner triangle as 4 and put the answer. So if this is the basic model. So if they ask it in advanced level like this, just remember the basic model. Basic model is 5, and for every triangle increasing inside, you are just going to add it by 4, 4. So if another triangle drawn inside this also, you just add 4 and count it as 17. That's it. Very simple. Now let us solve this. What about this one? If you think this method is a different one, you are wrong. This is just same as the first one. Just divide it. Just students, listen, an important tip now I am going to give here is, you are not going to get the same questions as I am explaining here. Please understand it. If a question is given in the question paper, just look for dividing it and solving it. So if you try to divide this one, it is a division like you get this one. So if you get this figure, you know what is the answer. The answer is 5, because this figure is what this figure is. So the outer layer is 5, and just now count this method is in base. So 1 2 1 2 1 2. That's it. You shouldn't add this number 1 plus 2 as 3, because only 2 things have been remained here uncounted. This big vertex is already counted while counting the basic model triangle. So you have to only count the innermost triangles. So 1 2 1 2 1 2. Here 2, here 2, here also 2. So totally 6 triangles equal to 11 triangles will be there in this option. So what about this one? If you look at this carefully, it is a combination of B and C. So that is what it is given here. So as usual, you are going to divide this. So look for the first division. The outermost triangle, what is the answer? 5. Plus, if you count the innermost, you will get another 4. 5 plus 4. And for this shape, you will get 2, 2 and 2. So it is 6. So the answer is 15 triangles. So this is what the trick is. Just divide the diagram and somehow convert it to the method we have solved, so that it will be very easy for you to solve the complex figures, which we will see in after completing this concept. We will see some complex figures and how to divide that and count. I will teach you this method, and it will be easy for you to understand. And trust me, just understand this concept, you are going to get good marks in no time in this topic. So let us move on to the type 6 classification. So what is the type 6 we are going to see? Type 6 is classification with multiple inverted triangle. So this is again going to be an interesting concept. If you just look at this concept, it will be very easy. Just understand this. Multiple inverted triangles. So this is the concept here. It belongs to type 6. You just don't think like, sir, you are teaching too many concepts. That is not at all too many concepts. Just if you recall it, first type is with lines. So you are counting the base, adding. Second is with square. So counting the triangles and multiplying it. Third is with boxes. Again counting the squares. In joining places you are adding 2. The fourth type is what was the fourth type we saw? Even division. In that you are just cubing the numbers. In fifth we have solved that inverted triangles. Triangle inside triangles we have solved. So those are just the 5 methods we have solved. If you think clearly, all the methods are like, first one is addition, second one multiplication, third one also multiplication, fourth one cube, and fifth one also follows something like that. So we are just solving here basic mathematics. We are just using the tricks You can easily remember this. Just go through it at some time. You take screenshot of these images at the end. While I solved it at the end, you just take screenshot and just recall it whenever you're free. So it will be easy for you to understand those concepts. Now we are recall those concepts. Now we are going for the type 6 classification with multiple inverted triangles. So we'll take the basic model first. We all know how to solve this basic model. And can you solve this thing? Just look at this. This is looking like somewhat complex. It is looking like somewhat complex example. So if you say this itself as a complex example, and now I'm going to draw the third thing here. Let us draw a fourth. Let us keep it as fourth thing. Let us draw a third thing here. So this is the diagram. You are getting many inverted triangles here. In the third row, you will get 6. I'm sorry, 3 inverted. And in the for this diagram, just imagine counting this figure and solving with answers. I guess if you count and try to solve, you are going to sit for the full examination without solving. So am I drawing it correctly? I hope yes. So you have to get 4 here. So how is it possible for you to count this in traditional method? I don't think so, and I won't try this even for this thing counting traditional method. Let us see how to solve this concept. We all know that the basic thing in basic method, it is just 5. So what about this method? How should we solve this? And for this, we are going to write a table here. So with the table, we are going to solve. And if you think the table is going to be too much complicated, it is not true. It is just a basic table. Just you are going to add 2. I'm sorry. Just wait. I will first write the table and explain it for you. So this is the table. And if you ask me how did I get this table, just adding it with the next numbers. Here is plus 3, plus 4, plus 5, plus 6, plus 7, and it even goes on up to infinity. And this you are just leaving a single column and writing it with backwards. So what is the thing you need to do here? Let us erase this thing and you will write a concept. What are the steps we have to write here? So what is step 1? Before that, you didn't need to mug up this thing. It is just a basic table. Everybody can just remember how to write this table. So let us just directly see how to solve the questions. So what is the step 1 to do? Count number of base and circle that many numbers in the table. So did you understand what I said? Count number of base is the first thing, and circle that many table. Circle that number in table. That number in table is the first step. So here you are going to count the number of bases available here. 1 base, 2 base and 3 base are available here. So you are going to count the 3 numbers. Just forget this number. These are just I have said you for remembering the table. I have said it how to write the table. So this is not going to be useful in any point here. Just forget this. Now you wrote table, and the thing here is, if I am getting 3 number of bases here, so circle the first 3 numbers in the table. What is the second step? Step 2. Add the top layer number and keep it as first set. So the second step is, after circling the base, it is a top table and a bottom table is available here. So you have to add the top layer numbers. So 1 plus 3 plus 6 is 10. Where can I write? I'll write it here. So 10 is there in the first one, and in the next one you have to, in the second table, the step 3 is, I'll write step 2 here, add top layer. There is some change in step 3 with respect to step 2. The thing is, add alternate bottom number, bottom layer, alternate addition, alternate addition. So what do you mean by alternate addition? Wait a minute, I'll explain this question for you first, and we'll go to this one because it will be easy for us to understand. So what is alternate addition? Just according to the steps, we may solve the first option C here. Count number of base and circle that many number in table. So number of base here is 1, 2, 3 and 4. So you are going to circle 4 numbers, and according to the second step, add top layer. If you add the top layer here, 1 plus 3 4, 4 plus 6 10, and 10 plus 10 is 20. So you will get top layer answer as 20. For the bottom number, for the bottom layer, you are just going to add the alternate numbers. What do you mean by alternate numbers? We have to leave a number in middle. So 6 plus 1 is 7. So the answer is 27. You are going to get 27 number of triangles inside this triangle. So that's it. Very easy, as simple as it gets. So if we approach this one now, it will be easy for you. Now we are now we will go to the second question. So 3 number of bases are there. 3 number of bases have been circled. Top layer has been added. We will get 10. And in the bottom layer, we have to just add the alternate number. So we are going to add 3, and we are going to omit this one because it is not necessary for us to add this one. So the answer is 13. You will get 13 number of triangles inside this diagram and 27 inside this diagram. And if the number goes again, you are going to round. You are going to just circle the numbers as far as it goes. For the number of base increases means. So you are just going to count the bases here. Here you will get 5 bases. So just count, round the 5 numbers, and the answer will be like, add the top layer, 1 plus 3 4, 10, 20 and 35. You get 35 here, and at the bottom you have to just add the alternate numbers. So 10 plus 3 alone you have to add, so 13. So the answer will be 48. So that is this method. Very simple. It is, you didn't have to mug up anything here, just understand it. If they gave triangle, if they gave multiple inverted triangles inside a triangle and say ask you to count, just write the numbers, circle the numbers, how many bases are there, add top layer, add bottom layer as alternate, and add the both numbers, you will get total number of triangles inside this, 48 triangles. If you just count it in traditional method, just look at it. You have to count each and everything. This will be a triangle, this will become a triangle, and this also will become a triangle, and it is definitely not possible. And if you tried it also, it is going to take hours of time, and however you are going to get the answer wrong also. So just remember this method and take a screenshot of this, because it will be useful for you in future. Or some people note down this also for taking notes, so it will be useful for you. Let us move on to the 7th type. So the 7th type, we call it as star model. So this question is also asked in many SSC examinations and RRB examination, bank examination also. And the 2 types are, the first type, normal triangle with an inverted triangle star and a continuous star. So continuous star. We call it as continuous star. These are the names, just I am framing it. These are not like thumb rule names. Just we are drawing it continuously. I am calling it as continuous star. And this is a normal inverted triangle combo. So, is there any trick for this one to solve the count the number of triangles means? And unfortunately, there are no tricks for this, but I will help you how you can count. So it will be easy for you. If you just look it in this manner, it will look like a very big figure and having many triangles, but not like that. This is just a very simple figure. You can count it very easily. Just count the vertex first. You will get 6 triangles in the vertex, and plus just 2 more triangles, one normal triangle and an inverted triangle. That's it. In star model, in the first normal triangle and inverted triangle combo, you will get 8 number of triangles for this one. And while thinking for continuous star, let me draw this big because I have to provide some points here so that you can understand it easily. How to count this continuous star. So the thing is, like the before triangle, like the before star, you are going to count the vertexes first. Let me draw in another color. Vertexes first. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So these are the 5 vertex. In addition to this, you will get another 5 triangles. Where are the triangles? You just look the points I am going to mark now, and in every point there will be a triangle. So this is the first point. If you look this first point, this is a triangle. So 1. And let me erase it. Oh, sorry. And look this second point. This is a triangle. So this is the second triangle. We are adding another one. So look at this third point. And just wait a minute. So I'm sorry. The triangle for third point is this one. So we are adding another one here. And now look the fourth point. And the triangle for fourth point is this one. And fifth point. This is the fifth point. This is the fifth triangle. Oh, did we already count this triangle? Just wait a minute. So for your clearance, I have drawn the 5-point triangles here. These are the 5-point triangles, and already you saw the triangle in the vertex is 5. Plus addition to this, the 5-point triangles are for the first point. This is the triangle. For the second point, this is the triangle, and this one. For the third point, look at this one. It's a triangle. For the fourth point, this is the triangle, and for the fifth point, this is the triangle. So 5 triangles comes at each point. So 5 plus 5 equal to 10. So this number for this star model alone, we have to by heart. We have to by heart this number of triangles. For the combo of normal and inverted triangle, you will get the answer as 8, and for the star model triangle, you will get the answer as 10. Okay, that's it. These are the 7 types. So these are total 7 type of figures, 7 type of triangles. They have chances of asking in competitive examination in any way or the other. At least they will be asked in a combined manner. So you must have talent to differentiate those figures and complete the answers. Let us finally recall the counting of figures concept here. summary of counting of figures. First we have saw classification based on lines, so that addition concept, adding the base. So second we have seen classification of triangles inside squares, so it is multiplication concept, count the squares and multiply it. Sorry, it's multiplication. Third we have saw number of triangles inside of boxes, so that also multiplication concept. In addition to that, you have to add two triangles at joining place, at joining. So this is the third concept we have solved. And the fourth thing we have solved is, I think it's triangle inverted base, normal and inverted base triangle. So it is somewhat like this, and for that only I said for every triangle going inside you have to add inside triangle as 4. That is based on that concept. And the fifth thing is even division by even base. So in the concept of even division by even base, you are going to count the base. It is even base method. You are going to count the base and cube it. So here cube root concept is coming. And the sixth concept we have solved it with multiple inverted triangles. Number of triangles inside multiple inverted triangles. So it is somewhat like this one we have solved. And for this concept only we have to write that table, that 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, and in the bottom you have to start from here and count the number of bases and round the concept and add the top layer, add the alternative bottom layer and count the number of triangles you'll get. This is the sixth type. And the seventh type is only the star model. And the star model alone, there are no tricks. You have to just by heart that number. You just keep it in mind. For inverted and normal triangle, the answer is 8, and for star model triangle it is 10. So that's it. These are the concepts of counting of figures, and let us see some conceptual examples for this one, and let us move on to the next topic after seeing conceptual examples. In the conceptual examples, I am going to solve some previous year questions and how to approach that questions, how to divide, how to differentiate with the two different concepts and solve that question is the thing I am going to teach here. So let us start solving the questions.